Hi, Shanna here. Welcome to my channel all about finding joy while living with autoimmune disease. I am so glad to have you here. So today I am talking about AIP for a crowd. So how I cook autoimmune protocol for a crowd. I received a DM on Instagram a few weeks ago asking me to share if I cook AIP for a crowd, like when we have family over or friends, and how I do it. So I am sharing today because my kids just celebrated their birthday. They actually have the same birthday and they are 2 years apart, so it's really fun. So we are so excited to have some family over and celebrate with us, and so I am making one of their favorite AIP meals. So our family, we eat mostly AIP, even though I'm the only one with an autoimmune disease. I've been on the AIP for like a year and a half. I do have some reintros, but I do eat still a lot according to the elimination phase, since I do feel best when I eat that way still. So our family eats a lot, almost all AIP dinners, and we have a lot of favorite recipes now. And so this is one of my kids' favorite recipes. It is one that my mom actually made up. My mom, she has Hashimoto's too, and so she started to get into eating according to the autoimmune protocol too. And she is a genius in the kitchen. She's a really great cook, and she's really good at like finding a recipe and then like switching it up and changing it up to make it AIP. I'm not that great at that. She's really, really great at that. And so this is a recipe she found, and she totally changed it to make it AIP, and I love it. It is one of my favorite. It is AIP chicken teriyaki bowls. So I actually have made this for some friends. We had some really close friends over a couple months ago, and I made this AIP meal for them, and they loved it. They went bananas over it, and so I want to make it again for our family. So basically, I love this meal too because it is great for kids, because you can deconstruct it and they can have just like parts of the meal, like if they just like plain chicken, or if they just like plain broccoli, or if they just like plain carrots or plain rice. I leave the chicken teriyaki bowls components unassembled, and then people can like create their own bowl. So if they don't like onions and mushrooms, they don't have to have that. So it's really great for kids. So today I'm cooking for 8 adults, 5 teenagers, and 2 kids. So I really wanted something that would work for anybody and everybody. I love meals that I can prep ahead of time and that I don't have to like rush and get it all done right before. So how I do this, and I will link to, I'm gonna try to type up the recipe, and if I do, I will link it below. But basically I stir fry like broccoli. So I have a bunch of organic broccoli here. So I like saute it in a pan with, you know, healthy oil of your choice. And then, so if I'm making this just for my family, my 12 and 14-year-old eat everything in here. So I do combine all of the vegetables. So I'm gonna do onions. I have a couple packages of organic mushrooms, and you can include all different varieties of mushrooms. I like doing that too. So I stir fry the veggies. And then I have a huge bag of carrots, organic carrots. I'm gonna stir fry those. And what I mean by that, I don't know if I'm using stir fry the right way, but what I think of is I just get some big pans, and I do a ton of veggies. And when I'm cooking for this size of a crowd, I get multiple pans on multiple burners going. And I do keep them separate if I am cooking for a crowd with kids, where there might be some people who don't like some things. And then I just get oil going, and I stir, and I, you know, saute the veggies. What I'm planning on doing today is doing it ahead of time, getting a big roasting pan and other pans, and keeping the veggies warm in the oven. That way I don't have everybody coming over and I'm like, woo, like stir frying everything on the stove. I'm like someone who gets really distracted when I start talking and when I have people over, because I get excited to visit and hang out, and then I might burn something. And so I'm doing it ahead of time. Also, this is a great meal because you can get the whole family involved in peeling carrots, chopping onions, chopping mushrooms, cutting up broccoli, cutting up carrots, slicing carrots. And so I love this recipe because you can get the whole family involved. And if you haven't already, I highly encourage you to train your kids on how to peel veggies and chop veggies. They might hate it at first, but really with practice, they'll become so great at it, and it really is such a big help. And it's a great way to spend time as a family. in the kitchen. You can turn on some music and, you know, dance around, you can talk, our son, he loves to try almost everything that I'm chopping up or that he's chopping up. He's a great veggie eater. And so anyway, it's just a really great thing to get the whole family involved. A shortcut I used to, and I do use some shortcuts with this recipe. I have peeled garlic, I have organic already peeled garlic. So basically what's in the sauce is raw honey, peeled garlic, coconut aminos, and then we serve it over, I usually do cauliflower rice for my family, but that's a lot of cauliflower rice to make for a crowd. So I'm just going to do organic white rice in a rice cooker, and I have a couple packages of this, and this is also a meal that's great for leftovers. So I always overestimate how much food I need, and then that way I have leftovers. Okay, so white rice in the rice cooker for everybody else, and then I just take a shortcut using an organic already riced cauliflower, and this is a real time saver. I have to admit, I eat cauliflower rice a lot, and I've never riced it myself because I'm a busy mom and I like these shortcuts. But anyway, you can rice your own cauliflower in a food processor if you want. How I make my rice cauliflower, again, is just in a saute pan with some healthy oil. And I probably won't do that ahead of time. I'll probably just do, since it's just a small portion for me, I'll probably just do that like right before. And then I have a couple packs of chicken here. This is organic chicken. I do not think this one is free range. I was in a hurry at the store and I just grabbed this. This is organic. Don't think it's free range that I can see. But anyway, so I got, 3.5 pounds. So I got 7 pounds of chicken. I tend to overestimate things. My husband thinks this is way too much, but again, it's great to have shredded plain chicken for like a leftover. So I'm gonna make this in my big Instant Pot, and then I'll just shred it. If you want a shortcut when shredding chicken, you could use a hand blender, and after you cook your chicken, like if you cook it on the stovetop, if you cook it in like a slow cooker, if you cook it in an Instant Pot, just use the hand mixer straight in the chicken. And these are chicken breasts, and you'll seriously like, you can shred like a ton of chicken super fast. I love doing that. We moved a few months ago and I don't have a hand mixer anymore, so I'm just gonna throw it in my stand mixer, I think, because I really don't want to shred this much chicken by hand. So anyway, that's a little tip. So building our own chicken teriyaki bowls, we're gonna have, again, rice or cauliflower rice, mushrooms and onions as an option, a whole bunch of broccoli as an option, sliced carrots as an option, and then shredded chicken, and then the teriyaki sauce, which is AIP. And then people can build their own bowls and they can choose what they want. And then for the kids, they can just keep it separate if they want to. So it's a great meal. Also, I love doing a beautiful like fruit tray. And again, if I'm cooking for a crowd, I take shortcuts. Sometimes even if I'm not cooking for a crowd, I like to take shortcuts. So I just bought pineapple already sliced and cut up. I bought some blackberries, some strawberries, and then I have some kiwi on hand. And I just like use any other fruit that I just have that needs to be eaten. So I will just wash that, arrange it in a beautiful tray, and have that out. As far as if people ask what they can bring, like one family member did, I'm having them bring some watermelon. Another family member did too, and I'm just having them bring an appetizer. So I do like to keep my kitchen gluten-free if at all possible. This is like a more recent thing for me. I just learned that even at like family gatherings, we can keep things gluten-free and have like amazing food. And so for an appetizer, it's not AIP, but my husband's family, I don't eat it anymore, but they all love chips and salsa, and almost everybody in the family makes amazing homemade salsa. And so I just have a family member bringing chips and salsa just to have out before dinner. And then we have the fruit tray. I've not gotten into making AIP desserts for a crowd yet. There's a couple that I like to make, like in the summertime, I like coconut cream pops, I think is what they're called, from the Healing Kitchen. I like the Healing Kitchen banana ice cream too. I have not ventured into making a lot of AIP desserts because I had a big sweet tooth before going AIP, and I was addicted to sugar. I loved it, and so I broke that. And at first, I didn't know you could make AIP desserts or treats, and so I just like broke those habits, and I got used to not eating them for like several months before I realized there are AIP desserts and they're really yummy. And so I've kind of not gotten into making them yet. I plan on starting to, because I trust my self-control now, I think. I do. But I will say that Paleo on the Go has they have an amazing AIP cake I love. They have amazing AIP cookies. And so I do love to have those in the freezer for days like today where I'm making a gluten-free dessert, but it's not AIP. And so if I feel like I need a dessert, I can grab something out of the freezer for me. So as far as what my kids asked for their birthday, they did not want a birthday cake. They want my homemade gluten-free cookies. So they're having white chocolate chip cookies. So I try to keep my kitchen gluten-free if at all possible. This is something I've just recently started doing in the past like few months, just because I feel more comfortable, and my family's happy eating this way. My husband and my kids eat gluten-free and they're happy eating this way. And so we try to keep our kitchen gluten-free for my health reasons and for our kids too. So if you want to bake gluten-free, now I'm not saying this is healthy, I'm just saying this is the best gluten-free flour I found. It's called Cup4Cup. This is what it looks like. And Walmart even has it now. Years ago, it was super hard to find. I could only find it through Williams-Sonoma. But now Walmart has it. You can get it on Amazon. I'll link it below. And literally, you just sub this for like regular flour, Cup4Cup. So you could use any of your cookies or cakes recipes and sub it. Like if it calls for 2.5 cups of flour, just put 2.5 cups of this. That's it. Super easy. And you could use any of your favorite recipes, any of your family's favorite recipes. Again, not AIP. So I'm not making an AIP dessert, but again, I do have my AIP ones in the freezer if I feel like I need something. So they also asked for ice cream with the cookies. They love Autoimmune, and it is Lotta Mint Chip is their favorite flavor, and this is dairy-free, gluten-free. Let's see. It is organic, dairy-free frozen dessert. It is gluten-free and dairy-free. It's made with coconut milk, and they love it. You can get this a lot of places now. A lot of grocery stores have it now, and it goes on sale sometimes too. So I bought this, 2 things of this for whoever wants it, and my kids will have this. And then I just bought some regular organic ice cream at the store for everybody else. I bought mint and chip and vanilla. That way, if someone else sees, like if another kid sees our kids eating mint and chip and they want mint and chip, I have a mint and chip option, or I have a vanilla option for like those who want vanilla. So anyway, that's the one I'm doing for the dessert. Also, one time I made this chicken teriyaki recipe and I did not have any cauliflower rice, so I made white rice for my husband and kids, and then I did have sweet potato glass noodles that are AIP, and I will link these. And so I had my chicken and vegetables and sauce over sweet potato noodles, and it was really good. I really loved it. And so these are really fun if you haven't tried these. Okay, so AIP lifestyle, managing stress is a huge part of triggering an autoimmune flare. And so having a bunch of people over can be stressful. So some things that I do is I don't stress if my house is not clean. I try to make it clean. I try to do, the best that I can, but if I'm having a low energy day in the days prior to having people over, I don't stress about it. It's okay. Having people over is about enjoying them and connecting with them and, spending time with them and showing love. It's not about having a perfectly clean house so everybody thinks that you have a perfect life. Like, spoiler alert, nobody has a perfect life. Nobody keeps their house perfectly clean. And so I give myself permission to have a dirty floor or to have dirty dishes or to whatever. I try to pick up, but I don't push myself to the point where I trigger a flare because I'm so stressed. So that's been huge. Another thing is I try to choose meals where I can do some of the prep ahead of time, so I'm not standing on my feet in the kitchen hours before everybody comes over. I also try to choose meals where my whole family can help out. We can get my husband involved and the kids involved. My husband's great in the kitchen now. So anyways, I encourage you to ask for help when you need it. Invite, you know, if somebody says, hey, what can I bring? Tell them. You know, people love to help, and sometimes it's hard to ask for help or to accept help, but it really is important, especially when you are living with autoimmune disease. So anyway, those are some tips about the AIP lifestyle part. Yesterday, when I was trying to figure out what I was going to make today, I was talking to my parents and we're brainstorming ideas since they're kind of cooking AIP now too, and we came up with some other options. Swedish meatballs would be a great option, AIP Swedish meatballs. There's tons of great recipes for that. The one that I use is on the Florist and Fauna website. You can get it for free. I will link it below. And we serve it over cauliflower mash or over sweet potato mash. The reason I did not do that one is because we are having some kids and teenagers over, and that's not one that you can like deconstruct and pick and choose. So anyway, but that was it. That'd be great to make for a crowd. Pulled pork, I made on the 4th of July for a crowd, and it was a hit. So we did pulled pork over sweet potato mash, and we did like fruit and some other sides, I can't remember now, but that was a big hit. For the pulled pork, I used Grazed and Enthused AIP balsamic honey pulled pork, I think it's called. I will link it below. It's also a free recipe. Pot roast is a great option. There's lots of AIP pot roast recipes. You can put sweet potatoes in it, you can put carrots and onions and all kinds of stuff. I was gonna do that, but the last time I made a pot roast, I don't know what happened. Usually I make them and they turn out great. The last time I made one, it was terrible. I have no idea what happened, and now I need to like try to figure out what I did, and I didn't want to do that when I'm having a crowd over, and I would have had to do multiple pot roasts, and that can get kind of pricey too. But pot roast is the idea. Okay, so here we are. Well, this is my family. My daughter Kenzie, my son Garrett, and my husband Blair. And Garrett is chopping mushrooms, Mackenzie's peeling and chopping carrots, husband's doing onions. I'm going to be making the sauce ahead of time, and I'm going to start making the cookies. So just a note, on the cookies, they are not AIP, they are gluten-free, they're not AIP, and then on the ice cream, obviously not AIP, and the Autoimmune is not AIP either. Even though it's made with coconut milk, there are some ingredients that are not AIP. Alright guys, so we've been hard at work. We've gotten a lot of stuff done. We have the broccoli chopped, ready to go, ready to cook, onions, carrots, mushrooms. Mackenzie and Garrett did an awesome job on the fruit tray. They're just going to cut some kiwi for in the middle of that. So that will be ready to go. We have the cookie dough done. These are not AIP again. They are just like gluten-free white chocolate chip cookie dough. This is the sauce for the chicken teriyaki bowls that we will leave separately. And then we have the shredded chicken. Well, the chicken breasts are cooking in the Instant Pot. Once those are done, I'll take them out and shred them, and then we're gonna cook organic rice in the Instant Pot. So we're gonna go ahead and start cooking everything. I don't know if I'm gonna have time before everybody comes over to pop back on, but I'll at least take pictures of everything if I don't. So yeah, and then also if you don't have a lot of helpers to help you with all of this, you could always start chopping the day prior or the morning of, so you have everything all chopped and ready to go. Guys, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions at all. Let me know how you cook for a crowd. I would love to hear it. The holidays are coming up, and so I will keep you posted if I end up hosting a holiday and how I do it. I hope you guys have an amazing week. I post new videos every week. Subscribe if you don't want to miss any. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know. All right, you guys, have an awesome week.